What the? What's up, tomatoes? Welcome back to another Wednesday. This week I wanted to give you a bit of insight into how I went from doing this to doing this to struggling to do this.
Yeah, there you go.
Those of you who've been paying attention, you might know the story, but I wanted to go into more detail and give you a full breakdown of what's been happening. To start, I have to take you back to October 2021.
Yeah. Peng peng.
I was in the peak of my training. I was really happy with the year that I'd had, and I'd finished up by traveling to Barcelona. And I was still continuing to push that level, but I'd resigned from the daily hunting routine that I was on. I just survived doing this Kong front pre-bail, I don't even know, dive roll out.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
I'm okay. Bruised my hip lightly. It took me like 4 days to recover from that. So I was like, oh, I'm feeling healthy, strong. And a week later, I decided that it would be a good idea to try this double front flip gap that I'd always wanted to do.
Dios mío.
Unfortunately, when I did the double front, I landed low on my left ankle and I shifted the weight so that it misaligned. This was the first of many problems that came up.
Yeah, that's supernatural. Like, I always have purple and purple. Oh yeah, pussy.
And that took me a good couple of months to recover from, and it still even gives me trouble today. So I came back, I did some recovery, and right at the end of the year, when I was feeling a bit better, I did a Kong gainer and landed on my neck. That twisted a few vertebrae, which actually pushed back a shoot at the Sydney Opera House that I was meant to do, and a lot of other things that just went up in the air. After I'd somewhat recovered, I wasn't doing the proper rehabilitation. I wasn't going to see physio, I wasn't doing strength and conditioning, I was just doing some ankle rotations and a couple of small TheraBand activities. Nothing to substantiate what you should be doing to recover from these things. I was just continuing to train. I've been getting away with it for so long, with doing minimal recovery and minimal work for rehabilitation that I didn't see it as necessary, and I was kind of having too much fun being out there on the road.
Oh my
Oh!
God! Yes. Oh yes!
The months continued to go on, and I started to progress into 2022, but I was heavily dependent on my right ankle. I wasn't using the left ankle properly, I wasn't activating with it. I got myself to a good level again, and I was really happy with where my performance was going, but I was starting to feel pain every now and then after training, and it was uncomfortable to walk around after prolonged periods of jumping. Then I headed to Red Bull Art of Motion in Greece, and that competition was such a good time, but I made a very poor choice while I was there. Second day, we were to do a video competition on the course that they had designed in the rooftop space. I found a gargantuan front flip to a slanted wall that I thought would just be the most appealing jump and would also be something that I could show my skill set on the course. The morning of, I woke up and my ankles were already sore from the day that we'd done. I went down to the rest of the athletes and I was saying, I'm not going to do that front flip today. It's too much of a load on the ankles. I don't think it's a smart idea. After lunch, I had my video shoot and I went up to the course and I thought, you know what, I'm feeling pretty confident now. I might as well just do this front flip. It's what I had planned and I'm really excited about it. It's a personal challenge that I really wanted to achieve, even though it didn't fit the quota of the day and necessarily didn't fit the quota of how my body was feeling.
What the?
Some people might think that that front flip is a fail.
Sledgehammer.
That's me. That is exactly what I intended to do, was hit the wall, bounce into it with my shoulder and slide down, similar to a lot of the jump splats and slides that I'd done in the past. Woo! Yes! Just adding the front flip to that. Unfortunately, I undershot the distance slightly and it distended my right ankle as I hit the wall. As I slid down, I didn't feel any pain. I landed, I was like, oh, fantastic, I pulled this off. I walked about 15, 20 steps and realized, oh, I'm getting some shooting pain up my ankle. Sat down, instantly was out of the walking game. I went onto crutches, and the rest of the day, there was no chance I was putting any weight on that foot. The next day I woke up and I'd already agreed to do a game show video with Red Bull where I would be the host. Ideally I would have been taking part, but I couldn't, but they asked if I'd still like to do it and I wanted to be a part, and I'd already given my words. I got up there with my crutches, threw them down, and was just standing on this ankle that's horrifically sprained, maybe fractured, and doing this whole show for, it ended up being 6 hours of shooting, which was very extensive on the ankle. And by that point it was feeling a bit better, so I decided, you know what, I don't think I need an x-ray, I think it's fine, which was another huge silly decision. And on the third day they had the combo battle of the competition, and by the time the combos came around at like 3 p.m. I could already like hobble along on my ankle, and with the excitement of the event I was walking up and down the course by the end of it. I think I was just so gassed by the situation and the elation of the whole energy in the arena that I just had internal adrenaline to move around, but I probably shouldn't have been walking on it. Then I went to the after party, I had a few drinks, I was dancing on it all night. Probably again not a wise decision, but it was feeling strangely good, and it was doing that classic Dom thing that happens to me where quick recovery starts to ensue just through movement and stuff like that. So then I had instantly to go to Camp Woodward in America, and I arrived there with very minimal capacity and started to build myself up throughout the week, tried to really progress on the soft surfaces and do stuff that didn't hurt my ankle. But I was always pushing the spectrum because I was super comfortable with it. After the 9th or 10th day there, I was really comfortable with training. I'd done a few big things that had only minorly given me like a tweak in the ankles. Kind of just got carried away and decided to do this front flip. And that was just too much too soon. The second I landed, I felt the whole ankle like rip and tear. And it wasn't even a bad landing, it was just too much force. And instantly from there, I was like, okay, I've actually properly put this back. But again, didn't go get an x-ray, didn't go get an MRI. I just went to the physio in LA and continued to holiday with my girlfriend when she arrived. Kicked back and was like, I'll just let the ankle recover. Instead of applying that effort in the early stages where you really need to have that system in place to get the tendons and all the scar tissue back aligned, I just wasn't doing anything and was continuing to train and do silly things like this. And it's just too much load for the ankle to take. But in my experience, my ankles and a lot of my injuries had always clicked back over, so I thought this is the perfect remedy. I'll just take some time back and then come back into it strong. Unfortunately, every time I started to come back into it strong, they were giving me pain, and so I had to really incrementally build my way back through training, which wasn't always progressing. It sometimes would plateau and then it would go a little window and plateau again. 6 to 8 weeks until I was going to be doing the capstone shoot, and I've been doing a trip in Vancouver that time before that trying to get into shape. During the first week of the capstone shoot, everything felt out of touch and I felt like I was really clunky. It was like walking on high heels. After 6 days of kind of scouting and preparing my body, I managed to get some challenges done. I was really starting to get into the flow of it. But you can imagine doing the high capacity capstone challenges, even if they're not at full impact, they're such body taxing challenges as well as mentally loading that all that stress just kept building and building, and I wasn't doing anything to negate it. I wasn't doing enough rehab, I wasn't doing enough strategic work. Continued to train. I went to Brighton thinking that they had gotten better after the achievements that I'd done in the video, and I knew I had a Forain shoot coming up, so I headed to that and I pushed myself through that shoot, but there was a lot of pain going on through that shoot. And then I came home to Sydney and I started training, and I was in consistent pain. Almost every day I would tweak my ankles, or they wouldn't fire, or they'd be in really bad shape. And I still continued to be negligent and not go to the physio. That started December, where I really took a good look at myself and decided, you're not doing this the right way. You're not taking the steps and measures that you need to recover properly. Got myself a physio appointment. Instantly, we assessed that the mobility in the range was absolutely trash. There was complete rigidity in the ankle. It was like a brick on the end of a foot. It didn't have mobility sideways or in dorsal flexion. It was, my knee over toe was almost non-existent. Now I've got a series of exercises and a consistent gym routine that I've been doing every morning, but it means that I've had to lay off training comparatively to what I would usually train, and it's very internally frustrating to not be able to participate in the summer jams that are happening to the capacity that I want to. I mean, it's very fun going out and being able to interact with the younger athletes and give them ideas and really boost them and almost be like Coach Dom.
That's fine.
Yes, bro, let's go.
Same drop, Harry, same drop.
Boom!
Yeah, boy.
There's another window here if you want to practice. It's just a nice big chunky one, that's it.
A nice big chunky dive and the...
I just lean like this, bro. Yes, go.
Trust it. Ooh. Yeah, I think come back over for now. But personal gratification does kind of falter when so much of what I'm about is attached to how I'm performing. I'm doing these exercises every day, and then I've got regular training and some more explosive stuff and different exercises that I throw in there. If you want a full breakdown of my recovery routine, let me know in the comments below and I'll make a video going into the full detail of everything I'm doing that's not parkour. So hopefully over the next few weeks and before we go on our first trip to Bangkok this year, we'll really be able to get some improvement and get some jumps out there for you. Thank you everybody for watching this video and sitting through all of this to get an insight into what's been happening with my training and why you've seen such a dip online and such a drop in performance level comparatively to what you were seeing in 2021 and even early 2022. Big shout out to the Head Production Patreons. If you want an extra video like this, click that link just below. Like, comment, dub side, subscribe, and say hi to your mum for me.